So we're going to get into a little bit of this I'll Be Sure. Now, I'll Be Sure has posted to his Instagram a three-part posting regarding this book that is allegedly written by Kim that people are running off with. He has some things to say because there is a part in the video, in the book that has to deal with him. And so let's read that part and then we'll get into what he said on the side, okay? So this is a video post and this is chapter 5, Sean Kneels, all right? It says, the year passed, and thankfully we didn't have many bad arguments. Although Sean was strangely getting into voodoo, he would put curses on people, and I wasn't sure how to respond to that craziness. My problem as a single mother was I wanted to be married. He always had excuses and delays when it came to committing to marriage. His label was blowing up, Biggie dropped, and it was just about over. He also signed Mary J. Blige. And of course, when I found out he slept with her, we fought, allegedly. All right. He claimed it was a mistake, and my stupid took him back again. Sean asked me for a party. She wanted an adult party with 3 people. With her, at first, I was mad, but Mary was beautiful. It was our first party with 3 people. And I loved it. Mary was sexy. I would not be doing this a lot, but it was so hot. I was young and exploring my sexuality. Exploring my sexuality was exciting. Okay. Over the years, we brought other women into our bedroom periodically, and we were happy. That is until one day I came home to a situation that went from awkward to a nightmare. Quincy was with the babysitter, and Sean was sitting with I'll Be Sure at the dinner table. I had a child with Al, and Sean was the father in Quincy's life. The awkwardness of all of us being together had dissolved a long time ago, but it was still weird that they were here in my house together alone. I sat down and we had drinks. It was fun. The conversation was cool. It wasn't until it wasn't. Al was a little loose after a couple of drinks. I remember him saying, "It's still weird seeing you with my friend, but you're happy. So I'm happy for you guys." Sean responded, "Thanks, man. Me and you have shared so much." Al replied coolly, "Word." The conversation took an odd and awkward turn when Sean said, "We all been together sexually, but not together." I was shocked for a moment as quietness lingered in the room. I asked, "What do you mean by all together?" Al shifted uncomfortably, but Sean didn't hesitate. "You know how we sometimes invite other people into our bed?" I couldn't believe it. "Oh, hell no, Sean. This is my son's father." "Al, say something." What Al said was mind-boggling. "I don't know. It, it could be kind of hot. I miss you in that way." Although I couldn't believe Sean would do this, the truth was I still cared about Al. And this could be very hot. I just didn't want to mess up my relationship. And if things became awkward, how would it affect Quincy? So I asked, "You both sure?" I imagine both of them. It's a little early for this kind of talk inside of me. Okay. There's no other way to put it. I knew this would be awkward sexually. There would be some bumping of, but what happened next couldn't have been imagined in my wildest dreams. Al, and it's blanked out. I couldn't believe it. I stood there in shock. But when Sean blanked out, I ran out of the room. This was too much. I couldn't. Sean called out to me, "Oh, come on, Kimmy." They didn't chase after me. They blanked out. Whoa. Hold on. It's got to flicker one more time. I lost count of the flickers. I couldn't get the image out of my mind. I couldn't be with Sean for a while. But that wouldn't be the last time I saw Sean in a compromising position, not by a long shot. One day I found the vault where he kept all of his encounters with men. Yes, he kept the record of it, but that's for later. Now, child, that's scandalous. Okay? That's scandalous. I can't with y'all. Um, Now, of course, he must have been sent some excerpts of this book, or he might have come across some people reading it, and he put part one. As you see, he is hashtagging the Federal Bureau of Investigations, hashtag FBI, hashtag United States Department of Justice, hashtag GOJ, hashtag Drug Enforcement Administration, hashtag DEA, hashtag Central Intelligence Agency, hashtag CIA, at LAPD HQ, at NYPD, at LVMPD. He is going in. He said, hashtag peep gang. For over a decade and a half, I've been posting about and tagging random law enforcement agencies in hope to protect loved ones, avoid deaths and tragedies that could have all been avoided. Despite this, I've been ignored, ridiculed, and medically silenced to cover up these crimes you're all now aware of by a very aggressive PR team and costly campaign to silence and physically harm me from exposing. He is finally coming flat out, straight out, and outright saying that man did something to me that caused me to go into that coma. Child, it's only aimed to prevent me from further sharing publicly the facts and insights at Lady KP shared with me, which is Kim Porter, during our frequent and intimate conversations, and her selfless attempts to save my life by sharing frequent plans to do harm and possibly by ending my life. I am writing this post to formally request an investigation into an entire group of individuals who worked at or around the residence of Miss Kimberly Porter, including the publicist who assisted drafting this. It has come to my attention that these persons were also instructed to steal her computer and mobile devices, which contained her original book notes. So now the family has come out and said that she wasn't writing a book, but now Al B. Shore is saying, no, she was writing a book, and that these people stole this book, and that this portion of the book is a lie. Child, original notes are distant from the fabricated BS and offensive pages circulated via Amazon, which depict graphic sexual acts involving me that never took place and were edited and added after Miss Porter's tragic unaliving. I urge you to consider who authorized such a fictitious publication without categorizing it as calculated fiction. The publicists and conspirators worked in concert from separate camps, launching this campaign, which appears to be a very personal and a deliberate distraction from their involvement in covering horrific crimes, assisted in and perplexed the public for many years, which I have personally experienced and continuously deemed just a medical crisis for legal reasons until the rest of these atrocities were uncovered by authorities, making it more believable to a gullible public that have been that has been fooled for so long. To be continued, part 2, next post. Child, he is not done. Okay, he puts the book excerpts up again. He does the same tagging, only this time he adds hashtag fake book. Okay, so Miss Porter's missing devices, allegedly already in evidence, unquestionably contain the critical evidence that have been concealed. Okay, I'm convinced that the evidence corroborates closely with details outlined in the recently released public indictment document. Additionally, it is pertinent to note that the individuals involved in this matter may also be connected to also concealing the alleged unalivers of several prominent artists. This is getting ugly. A situation that has left many bewildered. Yet those who are immersed in the culture and familiar with the intricacies of the entertainment industry may have a clearer understanding of the obvious. It is with a heavy heart that I reflect on the legacy of our beloved Lady KP. It is truly disheartening to think that those she considered close friends and who were financially compensated by her perpetrators may have conspired with a perpetrator to obscure the truth and tarnish her name. My name and her unfinished book notes with these ridiculous and unfounded narratives. The absence of Miss Porter leaves a void, depriving her of the opportunity to address these inaccuracies personally and to share her own factual memories detailing the brutal terror and madness she endured. Check all who text messages of those who serve in a PR capacity, as they have brilliantly and underhandedly crafted this fictitious story to service a personal vendetta. There's more. There's so much to unpack. Unfortunately, I'm the only survivor by the blessings of a medical team that initially gave up because of multiple system organ failures. Septic, intubated, on a ventilator for 38 days, and forced to visit death's doorstep. But the God I serve and worship had another plan. Keep in mind that this is just the G rated version of what I endured over a decade, plus to silence the OG. I also kept forensic records of every individual who was sent my way to set me up, track me, gaslight me, and allegedly cause harm to my system. Continue to be continued, part 3. Baby, I'm gonna come check the comments in a minute, but I just want to finish this, okay? Unfortunately, Kimberlina was taken from us way too soon and before she could complete her true thoughts, before the fake unauthorized edit released on Amazon, which the disappearance of her computer and vital evidence raises significantly more questions. It is evident that her potential to expose the realities of her personal abuses being given substances unwillingly, okay, that eggs trafficking and human trafficking she was privy to, akin to the brave actions of Miss Cassie Ventura, posed a threat to those profiting from such heinous activities. In a nutshell, Kimberly was allegedly taken from us because she was set on course to accomplish what Miss Cassie Ventura by ignited uh, ignited the bonfire, which brings us here today with the avalanche that has brought Satan to their chambers. Sheesh. Let us honor the memory of Lady KP, acknowledging the strength struggles she faced and the truth she sought to reveal in her own personal notes. Not this fake, unauthorized nonsense using my name to keep dragging me as social punishment for exposing this years ago. There will be significant suit. There will be significant suit ahead, right for the heads of the responsible parties who dragged my name into this BS. Kim and I talked right up to a few days prior to her demise. She was in good health, and we are in such a great friend space, reminiscing about old times and celebrating news of our son's accomplishments. No affair, just great friends. Hashtag Warriors for Kim Porter. We must continue to advocate for justice and ensure that every one of the individuals who conspired against her are held accountable and prosecuted to the highest extent of the law. Thank you to all the hashtag law enforcement agencies for their unwavering dedication to uncovering a portion of the truth. There's more. Rest in power, Lady KAP. Your true legacy will not be forgotten. Most importantly, please pray for the kids. There is no validation in my claims coming true. There has been way too much collateral damage and unaliving everywhere. And then here is an article that was brought up, and it says, is Diddy trying to delete Kim Porter's Wikipedia page? So apparently there has been other things that have gone on as well. This is serious. Okay. Now, as far as I know, and I could be wrong, I have never heard him come out directly and say that this was done to him intentionally. We heard Jaguar Wright say it, but I've never heard him say this for himself. But this all sounds really familiar, don't it? Because don't we get this same type of verbiage in the lawsuits that come out about, oh, duty shooter whack 100 CS2 back? I ain't gonna wait because I know the answer to that. But it's the same type of lingo that we're hearing over and over again. This is the blueprint to the industry. And a lot of these unalivings that we have questioned, for those of y'all who want to say that people that have been speaking and telling us certain things, that they're crazy, clearly you keep saying the same thing. Somebody got to look into it. What's crazy about all of this is we, the public, love to consume this type of information. But a lot of us consume this type of information because it's also a part of our history. Like I said, growing up in New York, we've heard about this. We were curious about